Hi everybody, this is Katie Carney from Katie Stitching. It is the 27th of December and this is going to be like a Flosstube bonus. I'm going to do a WIP parade and talk about my 2021 plans. It's 2 days after Christmas. I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. I'll probably give you more of an update on mine in my next video, which will hopefully be next weekend, and that'll actually be a normal Flosstube. But I wanted to jump on the bandwagon of doing a WIP parade, because why not? It's 2020 for a few more days. I had a lovely Christmas day. There were some issues on Christmas Eve that I don't want to go into, but Christmas Day really made up for it. So I'm really happy about that. I preface this with I did not iron any of my WIPs. Not that I ever really do, let's be honest. So they are folded, and also I will be opening and closing bags and there will be crinkling. I didn't know until I started watching Flosstube that apparently that really upsets people. And I'm sorry about that, but I got enough of a mess without adding to it. I got motivated this morning to take down my Christmas decorations and not my cards. I got motivated to take down my decorations. We leave the house decorations up until Epiphany, which is the 6th of January. So I figured since I was motivated, I would do my personal decorations so that next weekend when I need to do the house decorations, I'm not like, although I'll be like that anyway. Okay, so they're kind of in an order and also not really. I keep my WIPs in this. It sits right under my window in project bags. I had to buy that one in particular because I have a couple Rika House of Stitch and Stash bags and they're quite large. So I needed to make sure that I had a container to put them in. I went through and it's not nearly as bad. I don't think it's bad at all as what I thought it might be. I do have my notebook that I have all my WIPs listed in, so if I don't know something, I should be able to look it up pretty easily. And then I want to talk a little bit about my 2021 plans. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to buy anything, because let's be honest, we all know that's not true. There are 3 Prairie Schooler Santas that I still need, 2013, 2014, and 2018. And there is a pattern in my cart on 123 Stitch that I really want next year for an Advent start. But I am not planning to do what I did last year. I know Nashville is happening differently and digitally, I think. But last year I got a lot, and this year I am not doing that. I'm really happy with the stuff I have, and I would like to stitch it. I have plans for everything I am currently working on. Okay, let's start. I started this morning. I think I told you guys in my last video that I've been doing like the Prairie Schooler Santas in the morning before I get online while I'm drinking my coffee. And then I've also been working on those when I'm sitting with my grandmother in the evening. We've been watching Christmas movies together. And I think we're going to restart the Great British Bake Off. So we'll probably watch an episode a night. So when I'm downstairs in like the main living house part of the house, I don't work on anything too complicated. I stitch in hand, so it's got to be something pretty simple. So I have 2 of the Prairie Schooler Santas done, and I decided that I didn't want to start a 3rd because I knew I wouldn't finish it by the end of the year, and I'm putting the year on each one. So I'll start the next one in 2021. So I pulled out, this is Autumn Royalty by Lindy Stitches. I got this as a kit from her. It came with the fancy floss and this lovely bag and some Lady Dot Creates bric rack. So hers called for a excuse me, a 16 count Aida or 32 count linen. I just pulled from stash, and mine happens to be 14 count fabric flare, and the color is historic beige. So I finished the first one, which is Lord of Gourds, and then what I did was I just blindly pulled out the next pattern, and so that I could decide which one to do next, and it is the Prince of Pies. So mine are going to be much larger because I'm using 14 count, and I did not get much done this morning. I got 2.5 letters done. It was one strand of the fancy floss that the letters are in, which is molasses. I'm a little concerned I'm not going to have enough, but we'll see. I had kicked around, like, should I make these into pillows, or which is what's called for, or should I frame them because I used a different size fabric. Now, when I was looking at it again this morning, I'm leaning towards making them either into stand-ups if I can follow Vanna's directions. I also haven't decided if I'm keeping these for myself or giving them away. We'll see. They're really fun to stitch. I'm sorry if you can hear whatever that noise is. There's apparently a car outside broken down. We have a drug dealer living on the next block, which is awesome. And we get some interesting vehicles. Yay, drug dealers! Thanks so much for making the neighborhood awesome. Okay, so this is my morning stitch and my spending time with frost stitch. Next, ooh, they already all fell over. So this is WIP number 2, and actually I need to work on this in the morning next because I want to get it done. I don't like having small WIPs languishing. I have a lot of big BAPs, and so anything that's fairly small I like to get done. This is Shannon Christine Designs, Home for Christmas. I am doing this as a Sal with my friend who loves frogs. I don't know if she would want me to say her name on YouTube, so I'm not gonna. And I'm about a third of the way there. So I've got the house and the tree and the top border done, and then the lettering done that's not the back stitching. So I do need to, there's still a truck and the bottom border to do, so you can see that truck. So I'm down to about here. So I will probably, after I finish Prince of Pies, go to this. It was my work stitching, but then I stopped going to the office, and now I usually make something hot for lunch and I don't have time to stitch. So that's WIP number 2. We'll see if I can keep track. Oh, I should make check marks. I'm so smart. That's number 2. Number 3, this is one of my oldest, and so what has been working for me for the last 6 weeks or so is working on a project till I get to a good stopping point and then moving on to another one. And I'm going to continue that, but I'm going to add more things to my rotation. So this is many people's unicorn chart, and I would like to finish it so that I can resell it because I paid an absurd amount of money for it. This is Mirabilia, Lady of the Flag. I got this on eBay. It's out of print and it sells for a lot of money, so again, need to finish it. I am using the called for DMC, the called for beads, and the called for Krynic, and then the fabric I'm using is from France, and it's the Constitution fabric. I don't have a ton done on her. I started in the middle. This was my first ever middle start. And then I'm working up. So it doesn't look like much, but you know, it actually is quite a bit of stitching. So need to get back to her. I think that hopefully in January I will. hopefully. And then I have a little, my Clay by Kim dragon. You know, and you also don't want to leave your Clay by Kim dragons on a project. You want to have them out. So that's number 3. It's nice also to pull all these out because I'm seeing where I am and how much I have to do. So hopefully I work on them. Next, you guys have seen this recently. So this is Lavender and Lace. And I am doing, these are the Celtic series, and I am doing Celtic Autumn, but I am doing a conversion, and this is the Little Cat conversion from June 2010. She is beautiful. Oh boy. She'll never stay away for long because I love it. On this one, I have the entirety of the top done, and then the border on this side over here is completed, and I need what's not done at the bottom is where her skirt starts. So when I pull this out again, my next task will be to do this side of the border so that the next time I will be working on the lady. So she will also be back soon. Lady of the Flag will be back first, though. Okay. This is Teresa. Oh, that's WIP number 4. This is Teresa Kogut, Heaven and Nature. This was her, I think it was her first sampler. And I jumped at it. I got it at Market, and then I kitted it up with a mix of the Called For Fancy Floss and the DMC. So I really wanted to get the first page done on this, and I did not before Christmas. We'll see if I pull it back out. I don't want to say that I'm going to complain because that's not what I mean, but one thing I'm not loving about this pattern is, so you see, I know I'm not supposed to show you, there's no overlap on the pattern. So you have your pattern and it stops at X, and then on the next page it picks back up in the same spot. And with full coverage, that's not really a problem for me. But with a sampler, like this is this is a bunny's back end. And to get to his front end, it was a lot of counting, and it was a lot. Also, my bunny is green. I was looking at the color chart and I said, oh, it's weird that she did the bunny in green, but I guess she did that because it's a Christmas sampler. I can't read. Anyway, I do like it quite a bit. I just do wish that there was, with the long dogs, she does a couple in gray so that you can kind of match up where you need to be, and that's really helpful for me at least. So this is page 1. The entire border is done, and the letters that are included on page 1. The top part of the flower, an angel, and a bunny. So what's still left on page 1 is the planter, and then half of this plant and one of those squirrels. What I'll likely do though is, what I try to do is I don't stop, like I don't leave it half done. I keep going even if it's on another page, but I do like page finishes. So that's Heaven and Nature. This is, like I said, a mix. And this is 1 strand over 2 on 40 count. This is my first time using 40 count. I do need a stronger light. I can see it just fine with a light. I don't use any, I have pretty close to perfect vision, so I don't use any magnification for anything. And then the more I do this, the easier it is. And then it is definitely easier when I'm getting natural light from outside. So that is WIP number 5. I would love to have this done by next Christmas, but I don't know if that'll happen. All of these big projects, I don't have an end to date in sight. I do know with me, generally speaking, if I get close to a finish, I'll stop working on everything else until that thing is done. I'm going to take a little sip-a-rooski of my drink. Diet Coke. In January, I'm going to finish the diet soda that I have, and then I have to go back to just water. I have to. Hang on. Also, I did order a Christmas project bag for this. It's not in yet. So this will be going into a Christmas bag so that one of my not Christmas projects can go in here. Okay, so believe it or not, I only have one more WIP. So I guess I thought I had a lot more WIPs than I do. I have a lot of big plans. This was a Christmas Day start. I have not gotten a ton done. It's only been 3 or 4 days. Christmas Eve start, so it's been 4 days. I'm doing a Sal with Vanna Pfeiffer. There's a Facebook group. I think it's the Big Bap Christmas Sal. And she was doing a lavender and lace Santa with all these like little animals around it, and it was quite cute. And when I went to Everything Cross Stitch and saw it, you know, they recommend patterns down below, and they recommended this one. And this is The Spirit of Christmas. And I just found him very charming. I fell in love with him. So I kitted him up from Everything Cross Stitch. I'm using the called for, very pretty, already tangled DMC. Started this Christmas Eve. This is full coverage, so, you know, don't get excited. I'm using a 32 count natural brown linen. The piece is far too big, so what I did was, I think I told you guys that I was going to ask Rocio for help, and she helped me. So I started from the top, in the middle, and I started in the middle of my fabric at the top, though. So, and this is a little like gingerbread by Clay by Kim, and that's my start. So it's the bow right at the top, and then my plan is to continue on with this until I finish. Hang on, I'm taking it back out of the plastic. So I'm working on this, that bow there. My plan is to continue until I finish the bow. So when I get to the next section of green, I'm gonna stop. And then when I pick, this is gonna be my, I just dropped the floss. This is gonna be a either Saturday or Sunday, like one weekend day a week pattern. It's really pretty. And I would like, because I'm in the Sal, I would like to see some progress on it. So that's the plan. And that's going to go right there because it's what I'm currently working on. And it doesn't really have a project bag yet. We're getting there. So those are my WIPs. But one, they're all big. And 2, a lot of them need a lot of work. And 3, I've got some big 2021 plans, so let's talk about it. So my plans are, of course, to continue with all those. I don't want any of them to be UFOs. I want to keep going. I can't remember if UFO is a cross-stitching term or a knitting term, but that means unfinished object. So they're all projects that I care about and want to continue on. So now let's talk about my big 2021 plans. So I am doing a New Year, New Start. This is actually this is my grandma Becker's, my mom's cross-stitching bag that my mom had. And then I somehow ended up with. And I'm really glad because most of my grandma's sewing stuff was dispersed and tossed and I wasn't there. So I'm glad I have this. And I am keeping Heartstring Samplery, Consider the Lilies. I have the book. So this is a sal that I'm doing with Made by Michelle McGraw and Sarah K. Stitches, and we are calling it the A Sparrow Among the Lilies sal, which is kind of long, but I love it because it's either Consider the Lilies, which is what I'm doing, or His Eyes on the Sparrow. So it's a sal of her two huge projects. And I'm just so excited to start it on the 1st. I've got my fancy mug for my New Year's morning start. I don't usually stay up till midnight. Can't imagine I will this year. So I'll probably have a good day of stitching on New Year's Day. I am using all of the called for floss. I ordered it during the Great Pandemic Panic. It's mostly Weeks and Classic Colorworks, and then my goal for this week is one evening to sit down and get it on a ring in some sort of order. She did add a note, so I'm using, it looks like Blue Corn instead of Brethren Blue. I love that the owner, I got this from, it's in Baltimore, Needlework Corner or something. The owner's name is Dreama, but I really like that she does that she tells you what to change it out for. So that's the floss, and then the fabric I have, I don't know if I know what it is actually, but there it is. The fabric, I think I got this from a store that has since gone out of business outside of Binghamton, New York. So I don't actually, it must be 32 count. Yes, it is 32 count, even though it calls for 28. So mine will be a little smaller than the model. So consider the lilies. Then I think I've told you I have finished 2 of the Prairie Schooler Santas. 84 and 86 are done. I will be continuing, so my plan is to work on the Lindy Stitches piece that I'm currently working on in the morning and the evening until it's done. And then I think I'll work on that Shannon Christine to get it off my WIP pile. And then I will pick back up on the Prairie Schoolers. I do have a couple doubles because sometimes you have to buy them in lots. So I am planning to sell them. I'm probably just going to sell them for $5 each, including shipping, because that's the easiest thing I can think to do. And that should recoup what I spent. But I don't think I will get all 36, especially since I don't have all of the 36 done this year. But I would love to get like maybe 10 or 12, maybe one a month, so 12 done this year. I'm figuring this will be a many-year project. But can I just show you guys the one I just finished, even though I'm going to show you in my next video? This is 1986, which is the year I was born. I finished that last night. So it was kind of fitting that I finished 1986 in 2020 because that was the year I was born, so it was fun to get that one done early. Now I have to go back and do 1985. But they're a real pleasure to stitch. I love them. So that's one set of plans, and then, excuse my face, my Christmas ornaments for my grandmother next year. I have been collecting all of my like scrap fabric, and I got this JBW Designs Christmas Ornaments Limited Edition Collector's Book. Let's see how you can see that. So they're all 1 or 2 colors. Here they are on a tree. And then they're just very, very fast. So I think there's 20. Let's see. Yeah, there's 20. So my plan is to do all of them. So these will be in the morning stitching rotation. So sorry again about my face. Then I did get this last year from Hobby Lobby. It's a Leisure Arts embroidery kit, English Roses. And I had it like hidden away. And I do want to do this because I think it'll look really cute on my wall. So this is a 2021 plan. And then I have picked out my Lenten start for this year. We'll see if I get to go to Mass on Ash Wednesday. This was gifted to me last year. It is a Leisure Arts magazine from April 1995. And it's a little sampler. It's the one on the cover. Hang on one second and I will find it in the magazine itself. Sorry, I guess I should have been more prepared. There it is. So it's an Easter sampler, and it says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life," which is John 3:16. And it's got a couple fancy stitches, which I've never done before, but I was also gifted the beads and the floss, so I just have to pull fabric. And that's going to be my Lenten stitch. So I'll start it on Ash Wednesday, and then I'll work on it on Fridays like I did with Bought with Blood last year. So that is my Lenten start. Then the Frogwarts box, which is by the Black Needle Society, their Frogwarts 2 goes on sale next week. I'll be using Christmas money to get that. And I think they're going to do it in July again. So I will need to, before that, do the first year band. I'm doing mine all together on one piece of fabric. They sold the fabric last year. It's just a big long piece. I am a little concerned because they put up on Instagram a thing about using a new fabric this year, and I'm like, well, I already bought this giant, this was not a cheap piece of fabric. I guess they're looking to, I don't know, change the look or something, but I'm like, you very much reassured me that I could use this for the entire thing and it wouldn't look bad. So fingers crossed that I don't get, I won't be a happy Katie. But anyway, I want to get this done before the second one comes. I'm going to use DMC unless I already have the fancy floss, and I do have a few of them. And this is in my Made by Michelle McGraw, who does not sell bags. She very kindly made this for me. Harry Potter bag that I love so much. And this will just live in this bag until all 7. I hope I still cross stitch in 7 years. I never even thought about that. I will. So that needs to be done by probably July. And then if I finish something big, I am going to start by Heartstring Samplery, the Coffee Quaker. I would love to do 2 of these, one for me and one for my friend. But I'm probably going to make this for my friend Bernadette for her birthday in June if I finish something fairly large. I have the Called For Floss and the Called For Fabric. This is a 40 count stone hollow. And this is in a bag that I won from Fat Cat Flossing. I never win anything, so when I do, it's very exciting. I've won this and the ornament from the long dog Stitcha. So if there is time before June, I would like to do this. And then for the 401st anniversary of the Mayflower coming to America in 2021 on September 16th, I will be starting this. I've seen some finishes already and it's beautiful. So this is Coming to America. And I'm going to start that. I would love to say that I would get it done in the time it took them to come to America. And maybe I could. I don't know. We'll try it. But I have the called for fancy floss and DMC and fabric. So that's definitely a new start, no matter what. So that's 2 new starts, no matter what. If I finish either of the big Christmas projects I have going, I will start Little House Needleworks Kringles. This was like the belle of the ball at Market last year. I have no regrets about getting it. I love it. It's so cute. I love the department store idea. I have Parisian Gray. No, is that what color I have? I think. I have the called for fancy floss and the DMC that was not included. And yes, I have the Parisian Gray Legacy 30 count. So I have the called for fabric and floss. I got the floss pack, like it came, oops. It came like this. You guys, I just found a WIP on the floor. I guess I have 7. Right? Will that be 7? I think so. So pretend that we've not gone through all of my dream plans and let's look at this WIP that I forgot about. Because remember I said everything fell over. So this is The Shire. How could I forget this? By Country Magic Stitch. I'm doing this for my dad. Needs to be done by February. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to frame it or if I'm going to have it framed. I am using called for DMC and 14 count Ada that I had in stash. This is a very quick stitch when you actually sit and work on it. I'm about just a little under halfway there. So the next time I pull this out, I will finish the second page, definitely. That will actually, the next time I pull it out, because we're almost to January, although, you know, I got my dad a bed. I don't know. The next time I pull this out, I need to do some serious work on it. Forgot that February comes really quick. It's fine. So I'll probably start Consider the Lilies and work on that for a couple days, and then I'll have to pick the Shire up. It's really not that big. I have, because the bottom pages are 80 by 60, and I think the first and second page were bigger. But maybe not. I don't know. No sense in panicking. I also can never remember my dad's actual birthday. It's in February, but I feel like it's at the end of February. Marks of my anniversary is the 4th. And then Valentine's Day is the 14th. And then my dad's birthday is sometime after that. It's fine, I think. I'm really bad with dates. Anyway, that needs to be done. And then I do have all of the Lord of the Rings that she did. So I will probably start another one after that. That's not bad. Even if I started everything I showed you guys and didn't finish anything all year, that would still only be like 15 WIPs. It's okay. So I'm using a new device for filming. I hope that it looks really, really clear for me, like much clearer than either of the other devices I've ever used. I also made a video on Canva of all my 2020 finishes. I would love to be able to insert that at the end of this, but I don't know how to do that. So you're either going to see my 2020 finishes at the end of this, or there will be another Flosstube extra with my 2020 finishes. You guys, I had such a great year with all of you. Recording and seeing your comments and the likes and, you know, subscribers and, you know, new followers on Instagram. Stitching really, 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 really got me through 2020. It was such a awful year. It's funny, I was thinking about the end of 2019 and how many people were so unhappy in 2019, and they were like, 2020 is my year, and I was like, 2019 wasn't so bad for me. Yeah, 2019 was great. 2019 was never ever even a little bit nearly as bad as 2020 has been. Mark got me a duffel bag for Christmas, and I was like, for all that traveling we can't do? But you guys have been a bright spot, and I'm so grateful to have you all. I love coming in and checking in with you and having a little chat. I love, you know, getting to talk to you in the comments. I hope you know that even if I don't respond right away, it's not that I didn't see it. It's just that I didn't have time to respond right at that moment. Thank you for everything. Thanks for being my friend. Thanks for following. I hope you enjoyed my WIP parade. Oh, if I can figure out how to add the finishes, it looks like with the 20 ornaments, and if you count my gingerbread finish as each section being individual finishes, I have nearly 50 finishes for 2020 because it's the 20 ornaments. I did the 8 gingerbread village finishes, so that was 8 right there, and then several other ornaments. So yeah, nearly 50. Wow. And then if you don't count the gingerbread village, then it's right around 40. So I stitched a lot, and then I made a couple quilts and some project bags and a 3,000 piece puzzle. Maybe 2021 I'll be able to travel again. Anyway, Happy New Year, guys. Stay safe. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Bye.